Thanatos was the god and personification of a peaceful death. He is the son of Nyx, the goddess of the night, and the twin brother of Hypnos, the god of sleep. Thanatos, as the personification of death, works under Hades's command, and delivers humans to the underworld once the time allotted to them by the fates has expired. His touch was gentle, similar to that of his twin brother Hypnos. Thanatos is portrayed as a force that cannot be avoided. The Greeks saw death as a natural end to life. As a result of this shift in mindset, Thanatos' depiction has shifted from an older man, transporting the souls of the dead to the underworld, to a younger figure, who is less terrifying. Greek-based paintings and funeral steles began to depict him as a kind and steadfast escort, and his image is one of peace and repose. He is frequently depicted as a large-winged figure with piercing eyes, dressed in battle gear. In Roman sculptural reliefs, he was depicted as a young man holding a downturned torch, and a wreath or butterfly, both of which represented the souls of the dead. Thanatos was defeated by mortals in a few notable myths. Sisyphus, the king of Corinth, went so far as to bind Thanatos in chains when he arrived to transport him to the underworld. As a result, Sisyphus was able to delay his death for a while. However, his actions precipitated a dangerous crisis. With Thanatos imprisoned, death was temporarily abolished. Ares, the god of war, was especially enraged, because his battles had lost their luster, since no one could die, and he decided to intervene. Ares set Thanatos free, and then handed Sisyphus over to him. Sisyphus was sentenced to death, but he managed to trick the underworld gods a second time. He told his wife not to bury him properly, and after descending to the underworld, he persuaded the gods of death to let him return to the world above, in order to punish his wife. Sisyphus, once restored to the land of the living, did not return to the underworld. When Sisyphus failed to return to the underworld, he was dragged back by Hermes, and Zeus, the king of the Olympian gods, sentenced Sisyphus to eternally push a massive boulder up a hill, as a form of punishment. In another myth, Herakles fought him off when he was sent to bring Alkestis to the underworld. It all started when Apollo devised a plan to save his mortal friend Admetus, the king of the northern Greek town of Pherai. Admetus could keep living if he found someone willing to die in his place. Alkestis, Admetus's wife, willingly volunteered to die for her husband. However, when Thanatos arrived to collect Alkestis, he was met by another of Admetus's powerful friends, Herakles. When the funerary sacrifices were made at Alkestis's tomb, Herakles decides to confront Thanatos and force him to return Alkestis to Admetus. Herakles managed to fight Thanatos off, and returned to the palace with a veiled woman, whom he introduces to Admetus as his new wife. Admetus is obstinate about not offending Alkestis by marrying another woman, but he eventually accepts his friend's proposal. To his delight and surprise, he discovers that the woman behind the veil is none other than Alkestis. Although Thanatos did not have his own cult, there was a temple dedicated to him in Sparta, as well as temples dedicated to Phobos, the god and personification of fear and panic, and Gelos, the divine embodiment of laughter.